guys. Faze versus Complexity. Lock it in. Here we go. Game number 1 is on its way. Can Complexity take down the Goliath of Faze Clan and the super roster that was made to dethrone Optic Gaming?
All right, let's kick it off. Who better than Renegade in the grand finals to start this one off with? He's already having success, found himself a camouflage, a kill to match. He's hopping himself into the B stronghold. It's going to be early control here for Faze Clan.
Renegade getting through with the camouflage right away and the shock rifle. One of the best snipers ever in Halo, and he's starting it off strong with a headshot to Tusk. Looking for more action as players come to the left and right. This camouflage giving him the leeway to find players to the back. Monster's gonna feel the electricity circling through him as another shot rains in, but Renegade finally taken out. But it's already a 27-0 run for Faze before this sniper switches hands.
A hot start for Faze Clan. It's exactly what Complexity fans did not want to see. If they remember that winners bracket finals, it was ugly. Right now, they need to find some momentum. Renegade overextending with that shock rifle, though, is exactly what Complexity needed in order to get a little bit of control. It's given Kuhlect the shock. He's put it to use. And look at this. It's a trip cap for Complexity all of a sudden. That overextension has turned into Complexity's opportunity.
Kuhlect looking for more angles. He's going to be able to find the first instance before the hill can transfer, and he's not satisfied with just one. Finds the double kill on Royal 2, hiding a yellow door, and Frosty might be in danger as well. Kuhlect trying to let him know, hey, come down towards me. You are in the trap. Tusk gets the kill, and Kuhlect is still on a rampage, doing his best to continue for his team. Complexity have responded, and it's all been because of the new kid on the block. Kuhlect has been an all-star for this Complexity roster.
Can you keep it going is the big question. You lose Tusk, a lot of pressure, 3 members, a nice headshot, but too many players to deal with there as Kuhlect finally gets taken down. It's a 6-1-2 start as he was starting to heat up. Faze Clan take him down. They get out of the trap. They have A and B now in their favor, and they're going to take the lead. And we'll see if the kills can go in their favor as well, but Complexity doing a good job to relieve some of that pressure, and now they're able to hop into B with a camouflage of their own.
Cykul's going to be able to capture this, and he's not just done. He's going to be the forward player of contact, trying to get towards the C, and he has a real chance to stop this at the last moment. Gonna let Snakebite come into the shots instead. Giving up C, but not giving up the kill anytime soon. Renegade able to find those trades, but it's Faze that are in trouble in the moment, struggling to get forward, relying on the slays of 2 of their all-stars, Royal 2 and Renegade, but Kuhlect is shutting them down early.
So far, great responses from Complexity. They dealt with the pressure of Faze so much better so far throughout this game 1 than we saw at all in the winners bracket finals, it really seemed like. And right now, Faze kind of on their back heels, almost getting outslayed. I'm not going to run the numbers in my head real quick, but B and C in the favor of Complexity, continuing to score, build a lead. This is everything you could ask for right now from them to make this series a competitive one.
You gotta remember, shock rifle is gonna be coming up soon. Who can get control of the new one? I feel like that should be Faze Clan's focus at the moment, but it just feels as if Complexity's constantly knocking on that door. They had the trip cap. Faze goes for a 2-2 attack, getting on C and B at the same time to give him a temporary trip, but you already see the response from Complexity in the feed. They're not letting anyone get away. Renegade tries to swing, but Monstcr not quite able to get the finish.
Speaking of getting away, Renegade finds himself a way out of that situation, able to stay alive. They are going to lose B. They've made their way over towards elevator. That's where the battle for the contested stronghold's going to be. Faze Clan opting to give up B in this situation. Somehow Frosty and Tusk pass like ships in the night, but Tusk doubles back, and that's a mistake you made against Frosty. If you double back, you're probably gonna lose. Now he takes down Monstcr as well, and those 2 kills give Faze Clan all the map control.
Frosty's doing his best, and he sees the prize jewel right there. It's gonna be the shock rifle, but Kuhlect has the better position and the better utility. It's gonna be the camouflage, and that allows him to get back to the weapon of choice. Kuhlect has been ripping apart Faze in this game. 11 kills right off the gate, and he's not done quite yet. Picking up another assist, and the shock rifle just goes astray. Royal 2 lives for now, but Faze has been put on notice, and Kuhlect is swinging into action. This is a man that feels so confident on the map.
Yeah, he's not afraid or intimidated by anyone with his play. And I love the relocation by him right there. A lot of players would be sitting in tower at blue with the shock rifle. He's going to try and help his team defend B. Unfortunately, no one at home over towards the C stronghold is going to allow Faze to spawn over in that direction. And they're going to be able to transfer that over. So once again, Complexity going to be stuck with B here momentarily. And AC in the favor of Faze.
3 players from Complexity gonna make their way out towards A, not satisfied with having B as home. Gonna look to break through, and it's gonna be the shot from Kuhlect that tips it all off. Second kill for Cykul, and you see the rotation from Frosty. He's doing his best, but Kuhlect's not done. He is soaring across this map, looking like bound from Space Station. Really has a mastery of that movement.
Back and forth these two teams go, but it's a 40-point lead right now for Complexity. It's a Faze going 3 down right now, find themselves still on their back feet. They have control of B, but Complexity are fine with that, right? You can spawn them over in pipes, control, elevator, and C flat. You're going to do a great job here, and it's going to be a very difficult position to push out of, especially when Monstcr has the repulse, uses it perfectly to take down Frosty, doesn't overextend as well. Notice how he backs up, and this is a clear strategy that they're going to play for this next camouflage. And besides the first camouflage tools, Complexity has had control of every single one since. Faze going to need to figure out a way to try and compete for this one. It is going to be Frosty that finds himself with it.
And this has been a massive run from Complexity. It feels like they've just had constant pressure. I don't think it's going to stop anytime soon. The camouflage of Frosty is taken out right away. The rotation of Monstcr into B, but Renegade with those cross map shots. And Renegade's really the player that I think everyone needs to focus on in this map, right? We're seeing Kuhlect pop off, but he has the second best KD ratio on this game and type combination in the entire HCS with a 1.61. When Faze needs him, Renegade has been the player that stepped up time and time.
I honestly wouldn't be shocked if you told that about Renegade, about a majority of the game types of the map and mode combos for the tournament, right? Renegade is a player where his KD ratio is probably going to be pretty high on every single map mode combination. But them needing Renegade to step up here and now. 13, 7, and 10 not going to cut it. 189 to 100. Complexity continuing to build the lead. And look at this, Toolez. They're pushing the trip cap.
Trip cap secured in just 50 points. It's 2 ticks per second while you have the trip cap in. Look at that clock go. And Faze, they're not even getting in the hill. They have no access. It keeps getting out of control. 20 points in just 10 seconds. Is Faze giving it up? C's finally switching hands, but not before 30 seconds come off the clock. Faze finally starting to make their play, but Kuhlect, he lays and waits, finding the first. The second goes to Cykul, and this looks all but over. Complexity has been soaring to hills, has been getting kill after kill. Faze is able to secure a hill, but they gave up camouflage to do so, and it's to the young gun of Cykul as he looks to get behind the players of Faze and steal game 1 for Complexity.
Yeah, take your time here, Cykul. Make the right play. Unfortunately, can't find the head of Royal 2. And as soon as they get control of A, they're going to lose control of B. So Faze doing everything they can to keep this game going. But with no room for error, 237 to 117, they need to find the slays to pair with these Strongholds control.
And Royal 2, he has a trigger finger on him. The way he shot that noob combo to break down the shields of Cykul and get the trade. The question is, are trades enough at this point? You have to feel like this team's looking for a trip cap to get back into this game, Clutch.
Eventually, you need the trip cap, but you can't overextend for it. 2 going down for Complexity as Faze Clan have all 4 members up is massive. They keep another 2 fresh down with a double kill out of Frosty. Staggering the respawners of Complexity is utterly important here for this comeback. Shock rifle not coming up soon, Frosty, so you're going to have to do it with the battle rifle. But it's a 100-point differential still at this point. Faze Clan have a lot of work still left to do in order to make this comeback a reality.
Faze essentially needing 150 unanswered points in this game. Really no room for error, and Frosty with this shock rifle. It feels like Faze has everything that they need, but they have to deal with Kuhlect first. He hits the respawn screen. Cycle's trying to break into A, but Frosty's swinging back towards defense. His teammates pick it up instead, giving up that top gold position, but not done for fighting for it. 2 players from Complexity gonna try to push out Frosty. They get the kill. Is it enough to take the shock rifle away? This is Complexity's stand.
Yeah, this is Complexity's moment. They get the shock rifle. Unfortunately, they are going to lose C in the meantime, so Faze kind of recognize the pressure under Frosty. They decided to overextend instead of help Frosty out. They're going to try and get C control, but right now, it's multiple members hopping into A now. The pressure, the rotation, it's perfect from Complexity. They begin scoring, and all they need is 10 more points.
10 more points, and Monstcr sending players to the respawn screen. Do they even have access? Have to trek through to B. Renegade takes heavy damages, but stops the clock for now. Snakebite trying to alleviate the pressure of Monstcr, but Monstcr stands strong for now. The hill transfers, but the number's still looking about even for both of these teams. All it takes is Complexity finding one wipe, and this game is over. Perfect halos needed from this Faze roster.
Monstcr couldn't find the headshot on the Snakebite. Snakebite able to stay alive, maybe make this a little bit interesting. 248. B gets right back. It gets transferred, but they get right back into it. And Complexity trying to fight this one off, but Renegade jumps right back into the hill. He's got pressure on the Cykul. He's back into it, and Faze Clan stands strong.
They're still in it, and Renegade has the camouflage to work with. Folks, do you believe in miracles? Renegade's looking for an opportunity to get towards this hill. C switches hands, and unfortunately, the moment is over. Just not able to get to those hills in time.
Everything Faze Clan did at the end was right. Monstcr not getting the kill on the Snakebite with the shock. The 2 misses. You thought that might be a couple of shots you regret for the rest of the day, but no, Complexity somehow come off respawn. They get the job done. They close the door, and that was a big win for Complexity. Show that you can stand strong against this Faze Clan team, because in the winners bracket finals, it was not the case, right? It was a complete outclass from Faze Clan onto Complexity. This time around, Complexity a little bit more warmed up, potentially a little bit more confidence after taking down a few more teams. And they find themselves up 1-0, I'm sorry, in our finals.
And now the whole story is different from the rest of the bracket with how the format is, right? Instead of these best of 5s that we've been seeing, now it's best of 7s, and a best of 7 reset could be possible as well. So Complexity needs to be locked in, right? They have to be able to go the distance. And how, I mean, as a player that's had to go through these brackets, how do you ensure that there's enough gas in the tank when you get to the tail end of these tournaments?
I mean, it's tough, and you can't guarantee it ever, right? But it hasn't been too long of a tournament for them. It hadn't been too long of a day. They've only played, what, 3 series so far today. As long as you eat, I'd say you got enough fuel for the tank. These guys are gamers, man. They game till endless hours of the night at times, so they should have enough. Gas in the tank shouldn't be a question for this online tournament.
Hey, absolutely. You know, the amount of times I see Kuhlect live at like 4 a.m. and one too many. Let me tell you what. Yeah. I think these guys could go as long as they possibly want, but Renegade has the weapons to work with it. He's cycling through. He has 3 of them. He doesn't know which one he wants. Has to give up the shotgun for another player, but this is everything that's gone right for Faze off the start, but somehow this game is very slow. And Tusk gets behind him. How? They had 3 power weapons up there, Wes.
Double kill.
Yeah, I'm upset. If I'm getting assassinated with my teammate that's supposed to be watching the other route, you think the communication is on point for Faze? You think they're set up with those rocks to just stand strong in that situation? Well, Tusk getting behind enemy lines, finding a back right there is massive to keep this score close. They still find themselves down 3, now 4, 11-7.
Cycle's just waiting for someone to knock on the door so he can use this bulldog. He has a safety dog on its way. Here we go. Faze, they're knocking. All 4 players trying to make this push into C. Cykul staying alive for now. Cykul somehow taking damage from all over. Faze, I mean, they sent everyone on the roster to break into that base.
Yeah, it's not an easy push from downhill, but Faze Clan make it work. They clear out. still keep their 5-kill lead for now. 15-10. Rocket's going to be coming up momentarily, and that's going to be where the real focus in the next power shift of the map happens.
Like raining down shots, able to find the kill. He's leading to lead this team. Double and a killing spree for him at the most important moment. Rockets are up for grabs, but Royal 2 with a Royal nade that takes him down. Is it enough for Faze to recover the Rockets? It might be an overkill for the Royalty. Royal 2 gets the Rockets to go. Kill tack maybe, no, he lets it go for now. But talk about an emphasis statement from the legend.
Nothing flashy, just hit your shots, and who does it better than Royal 2? He earns himself and his team some rockets, puts one to use, maybe loses one, but creates a massive differential in the score at the time. It was up to 7, but a good job of Complexity to trade those rockets out efficiently enough to keep this still within 5.
Renegade feels the pressure from the back base. He's ready to take down anyone, and there we go. Snakebite takes the engagements, but man, what is it? Faze, it feels like they have this strategy where they're playing very close together, Clutch. I feel like we're seeing 3 players all the time. Yeah,
that's the name of the game on Streets, I feel. You want to just deal damage and choose to push one lane, right, and do it with your team. Right now, 13-2-4. Royal 2 really having success with whatever's going on the map so far. And if Royal 2's having success, you probably are as well as a team. It's a 6-kill lead for Faze Clan. We'll see how far Royal 2 can climb. But on the other side, Kuhlect with 10 of his own, trying to keep his team in this one.
Royal 2 is not letting anyone breathe on this map. It feels like the second he targets you, you are seeing the respawn screen. It's just a matter of whether he's taking another player with him or if you're going to be able to get the trade. He has been definite on this map. Anything he wants to do, he's been successful thus far. Complexity, they're still within, you know, this game isn't done yet, right, Clutch? It feels like they still have a chance to get back into this game, but how do you find a solution to a player like Royal 2 who's been popping off?
Not many people have the answer to that one. When Royal 2's popping off, the game is immensely more difficult, but you need to try and focus him and make sure he's not freely dealing massive amounts of damage, because I think that's the one thing that he's able to do, right? He's a turret. He's standing top rail. He's got player shots onto 1, shots onto 2, shots onto 3, backing you up, not missing shots. And Cykul, that's a big challenge and a big win from him. It's not often you get to say that against a player who's playing as well as Royal 2 is here in this game too, but he relieves a lot of the pressure and over challenge, I would say, from Royal 2's standpoint, and keeps this at a 7-kill game, but more importantly, creates some space for his team.
Royal 2 was a top 5 player in the top 25 of all time list, and he is just showing why. But Kuhlect on the other side, he's going toe for toe. 12 kills for him. And Complexity, although they're down by a considerable amount, it's not over yet, and you're expecting maybe to see players like Kuhlect step up for the team, but they have to find space on the map. Look at how they're all scrunched up, Clutch.
Yeah, they've decided to slow this one down, and Faze, they're a little bit spread out right now, trying to figure out a way to create space. You definitely prefer where Complexity is positioned at, and they're going to find that first pick on the Renegade. These 2 players trying to push Cafe could be a problem, however. Monstcr realizes it too late. Frosty and Royal 2 have created a lot of space for Faze to get out of this situation, and who better than Royal 2 to pick up a couple more kills, making it 16 for the game, as Faze Clan trading kills out, find themselves in a successful situation trying to fight from this downhill position. And with that, the 6-kill lead remains, and unless Complexity can find a way to find some kills without trading, this game's going to go in Faze Clan's favor. This series will be tied up shortly.
And this year, Royal 2, he's had a 1.21 KD overall. It's second in the HCS, tied with Lucid. The only player ahead of him, his teammate Renegade. Has to be such a scary task for a team like Complexity to overcome this. And Snakebite's hitting up through the smoke, using that indicator of the rockets to lead his shots.
Big kill by Snakebite, but more important, the kills, they were just a 3-kill lead for Faze Clan. So Complexity doing a phenomenal job of getting some kills here, trapping Faze Clan in Tram, now with Red Gun and Stalker, or with Stalker Rifle in Kuhlect's hands. This is a massive opportunity for them to come back into this one. I believe they have rockets as well. Everything in Complexity's favor. You don't want to push and trade, and unfortunately, that's what Kuhlect just did. And with it, Faze Clan will find some room to breathe as well.
5 kills separating these teams, but Faze is rapidly approaching the finish line. Frosty gets him one step closer. One more team wipe, and Royal 2 looking to have a 20 kill finish if he can find the rest of these players. Snakebite looking to clean up one, get them one step closer, but Cykul stays alive, and Complexity
there's a chance
somehow find 3.
There's a chance. 47-44, 3-kill game. Complexity with all the map control, trying to push in, but Renegade gets the first one, and that's a big kill to relieve some of the pressure from Complexity's push.
They stayed alive. Cykul made the play. Now he's trusting his teammates to finish the rest.
No.
But Monstcr, he's having shaky shots. Snakebite, he was able to make him one shot. It gets them to 49, and the 50th eventually comes in. And that was so surprising, seeing in that moment, maybe the pressure getting to him, Clutch. That was our uncharacteristic shots from Monstcr. I've never seen him have that sort of shaky aim before.
I mean, that was good shots from Snakebite on the same page, right? Like some icy shots from Snakebite, who should have been cleaned up, should have been a very easy kill. All of a sudden is a very, very difficult kill. Plays his life, doesn't reach out, but just knows that the damage will be capitalized. Trusts his team. And I mean, yeah, if you're Monstcr, that's 2 games in a row where at the end of the games you needed to finish off some kills. Fortunately, you find yourself in a 1-1 series. Faze Clan answered back, but not without a lot of stress, and a very close game too. 50-47 here on Street Slayer. And I mean, this series, it could go the distance the way these 2 teams are playing right now.
I think it's a great point that, you know, yeah, it was shaky shots from Monstcr, but on the other side, I don't think anyone's ever expecting the clean shots from Snakebite like that. And Royal 2, I mean, I feel like this is when the game was really determined, right? This overkill. How does this overkill come to fruition, Clutch?
I mean, Royal 2 pushing for these rockets, able to finish the damage on the Cykul right there from his teammate, but it's really team shots coming over his shoulder. Royal 2 trusting someone's going to get some damage onto him, knowing that this slight line is very vulnerable in bottom tram. Knows his teammates are over his shoulder. You see the BR shots coming across his head. He knows he's got the overkill secured. As long as he makes himself a hard target, you can tell he's jumping to the side, hitting his shots perfectly, doing what Royal 2 does best. And I mean, right here, right away. Look how difficult of a kill Snakebite is. This strafe hits his head on the ceiling here, makes his Spartan such a difficult shot, hides at the right time, does so much damage to Monstcr, and the fact that he just draws enough attention onto himself allows for this easy kill from Frosty. I mean, that's textbook icing up at the end of a game, knowing that, hey, this game's not over. It's 48-45. If Snakebite just goes down easily, this could be a very different situation we're walking ourselves into. It could be a 2-0 lead for Complexity.
What an incredible moment from Snakebite. The ability to snap on like that at the end, right? We're talking about a full health Monstcr and a half health Snakebite, right? Coming around the corner, Snakebite. I've never seen the players that have. I always feel like it's a player from Faze or Optic that has that sort of talent where they're like, oh, you want to challenge me? Let's go at it. And Snakebite, he definitely wasn't missing shots. And although he doesn't get that kill, I think he is the reason why they were able to stave off that Complexity comeback. Because I mean, Clutch, if they get that kill, Complexity suddenly, I feel like they're in a great position to finish out that game. If we go back to the replay, I mean, let's take a look at where Faze is on the map compared to Complexity.
Yeah, they're stuck in tram. They're not in a very advantageous spot at all. They do have a 2-kill lead, still in the same situation, right? You're looking at a 48-46 game. There's another player towards shotgun, and I actually believe
the other 2 players are to the left, right?
Royal 2 goes down. The other 2 players are going to be in tram, yes. So as long as Monstcr is able to finish up this kill and stay alive, I mean, Complexity have a very real opportunity to collapse onto tram and trap Faze Clan in that situation. But that's just one player making a play, and maybe not flashy and maybe not special, doesn't even get a kill, right? Just does max damage and plays his life so well. Then those are the little things that players like Snakebite bring to the table that close out games in grand finals.
Oh, Complexity. They have to be kicking themselves after letting that one go. Game 3 on its way. Flag on Aquarius. We're already seeing Snakebite. He may be feeling a little bit confident after that last kill. He's feeling his way through this map. Monster's going to be able to get away with the camouflage, but it comes at a cost. All his teammates fell down around him, and it doesn't feel like Faze is paying him any attention at all, Clutch.
Yeah, and are they quite sure of where he is and the damage he's going to be able to do here? He's going to go back towards his flag and try and use this camo defensively, knowing that Faze Clan are going to try and be aggressive. 2 of them do go down, and that's really Monster's ticket in order to advance on the map here, make it a third. And Monster maybe not using this camo as successfully, but his presence alive on the map probably made it a lot more difficult for Faze to try and push in and get a realistic flag run.
Yeah, he found Renegade, but Renegade with a quick response was able to take him down to that camouflage. Although it goes in the favor of Complexity, it really didn't feel like it played much of an impact at all. And now they're seeing the respawn screens once again. And I feel like this is when it gets scary when you're going against Faze. When you start getting put in a cycle, I don't think there's any team that punishes you more.
They like to play fast. We're gonna get a flag pull here with 2 going down as well. Last 2 players alive are gonna be overextended right now, so you can't really run this one yet. Another round of slays is gonna be what the doctor ordered, and Faze Clan know that. Look at how aggressive they're gonna be on the respawners. Both Tusk and Kuhlect, they don't have a realistic opportunity to fight for their lives in that situation. And now it's up to Complexity's overextenders to try and stop this flag run. Unfortunately, I'm not sure how much success they're gonna have. They do spawn utility closet and another opportunity to fight for their lives, but just another opportunity for Faze Clan to get some kills, it seems, as 4 go down, and this flag, it's guaranteed to go into.
I think the problem for Faze is, for Complexity, is that they're getting outslayed 2-1 at the moment. It just, they cannot buy themselves a kill on this map right now. And Faze have felt all this confidence, and they're continuing on. Kuhlect, though, oh boy, when you get them in a 1v1, I don't think there's a scarier challenge.
Yeah, Kuhlect and Tusk right there were spawn killed 3 times in a row without a realistic opportunity to make any play, to advance on the map, to do just about anything. That's a dominant play from Faze. Great awareness of the situation they were in, and they decided to reslay several times in order to get that first flag run in. It was textbook, it was perfect, and now they're going to be aggressive. They got the first pick, they got the flag on the move, and Complexity's hand is forced once again.
Royal2 looking for the players in the back. Cykul's going to be last alive, and he's trapped at the back base. No one can contest this flag going home. Royal2 retreats for now, but knowing that that second flag has gone in, Faze have had no problems dissecting Complexity throughout this game. Something needs to change, and Cykul might be the catalyst. Able to find that first kill. 3 going down for Faze, but Faze able to pull a flag on the other side, maybe buying enough time for them to get off respawn and get back to a powerful position.
It's such a tough position for Cykul. You win your one-on-one against one member of Faze, that's nice. You get your shield back immediately, you go into another 1v1 against Renegade. It's just your hands get tied behind your back at that point. How many 1v1s are you expected to try and win? It's so difficult. The pressure is so high right now, and you need to figure out a way to start slaying with the likes. Tusk is going to have a flag on the move, but Faze is going to be right behind him. He's going to opt to actually try and slay this one out, and unfortunately he doesn't realize multiple members of Faze are going to be there in order to stop this one from going. So although the pull was cute, the idea was right, you needed slays behind you, and unfortunately no teammates were there to help Tusk out, and the return comes through for Faze.
Camouflage coming up, getting this position seems to be priority 1. Royal2 giving a nice slay onto the new gun of Kuhlect, and Kuhlect just having a struggle, but I think everyone on Complexity is struggling in this early game. No one really getting close to that positive range, and Monster not able to get that burn on the camouflage. The onslaught of Faze just continues. They're seeking blood. They're looking for decimation in game 3.
Yeah, when it rains, it pours, and Renegade, he's going to try to get that camouflage. Unfortunately, Complexity did a great job of positioning themselves to force that player and Renegade to burn that camouflage. And now look at this. Cykul with the flag on the move, a couple of kills baiting that camouflage that was top middle. It was an overextension from Faze. A couple of players found themselves out of position going for it, and now Complexity look like they're going to be able to run this flag in, but a lot of members from Faze overextend off spawn, and they're going to have to compete with them in order to get this flag finally punched and make this a 1-score game.
Double kill.
Snakebite just makes it look so easy sometimes. Double kill for him, make it 3, but the flag is still up, and it's Frosty across the map, last alive. It's a race to home, and Frosty, it doesn't feel like he can get there fast enough. Somehow, Complexity get the flag home.
Phenomenal job to figure out a way to trade efficiently enough. Snakebite with the triple, you thought that was going to guarantee the return, but all 4 members of Complexity is what it takes to get that flag in. and they find themselves a little bit of life here in game 3. 2-1 still. Faze have the lead, but Complexity with that cap give you a little bit of hope.
Royal 2 working with Frosty. The flank is in, but Royal 2's aware. Cykul's not getting away with that one. 2 going down for Complexity with Camouflage coming up. Faze with prime position to take away the power up. Look at Renegade.
Camo in the hands of Renegade. 4 coming off respawn for Complexity. How did Faze choose to push into the space? They know exactly where Complexity are going to be spawning. It's just a matter of getting that flag out, and they've done a good job of that already.
Nades are down. Cykul, he's taking heavy damages. Renegade doesn't get the finish, and Cykul comes back to haunt him. Gets the kill, and now this flag suddenly, what looked like a for sure capture, is looking a little bit shaky as it's down over at the bottom of car. Tusk runs for the return, but Snakebite gets revenge, pulling the flag at the last second. And not just pulling a flag, taking a life with him. 3 go down for Complexity, and Faze looking to steal this flag home.
Somehow Complexity can't find the return. Snakebite does just enough to not only get a touch, but get a kill while doing so. Keeps the flag alive. Faze Clan do what they do best, get the slides around it. And they're able to make this a 2-score game once again and really take away any of the momentum we saw Complexity gaining here in the mid game.
Monster's trying to find a solution right away. He has a flagpole, and no one from Faze has immediate access. They're going to have to decide how they try to stop this, but Cykul in a great position, but Frosty cuts him down before he can find the crucial kill. Complexity seeing the respawn screen, and suddenly this flag looks to be going back to the home base of Faze. A failed push from Complexity.
Renegade playing his life. The shock's coming to hand. Able to trade out a kill. Frosty's death is not in vain. But there's a lot of players from Complexity he's going to have to deal with. He gets taken down as well. And 4 minutes and 15 seconds on the clock for Complexity to try and tie this game up. They need 2 caps to do so. They got to get the ball moving on the first, because you really want this to be a 1-score game going into the last couple minutes in order to make it a realistic opportunity at a comeback.
Cykul on this cross shot, trying to get damage in for his teammates. They're not going to get that kill, and he's not going to get the camo as well. Monster tries to recover it, but Snakebite's here, and Snakebite trying to make sure this camo doesn't get away. Not going to be able to do so, but bought just enough time. Monster hits the respawn screen, and the camouflage nullified before it can play any impact.
Big shots out of Renegade. Every kill is going to count here, sending Complexity back to the respawn screen as the flag is out. And they look to try and push this to a 3-cap lead. Multiple members are going to be pressuring Snakebite bottom car to try and get that return. Renegade's able to have an angle on a couple of those players to try and deal some damage. But, I mean, if you're Faze Clan, you're going to give this one up. You're not going to overextend or go 4 down in order to try and get another cap on the board. The most important thing is staying alive, getting kills, and keeping map control.
Now, with just 3 minutes left, you need 2 captures in this game, and so far the players that have been leading have been the old guard for Complexity, right? Cykul and Tusk, the players that have been here for quite a bit of time, and Tusk has the best stats out of anyone on this team when it comes to flag work with a 1.04. He's 15th in the HCS, and right now they need him in particular to start lighting it up and buying an opportunity for his team to get back into this game.
Honestly, some surprising stats there from Tusk. You love to hear a player maybe not with the most success having some high stats in a specific map or mode. How comfortable he and his team are on that map probably plays into it. And right now, a lot of work to do still with 2 minutes and 18 seconds. No success found to get that second cap on the board. And like I said, you want to get that second cap in order to give yourself a realistic opportunity at one final push. You can't do so unless you do make it a 1-cap game. And unfortunately, you try to get a flag on the move, but Snakebite denied that from happening.
Still 2 players from Complexity knocking on that door, waiting for resources to get back into this fight, and it's going to be a brawl. Utility, here we come. Snakebite and Frosty, though, backed out, and that shock grenade just doing so much damage. Snakebite almost taken down by the BR ahead of him, and he is going to fall down as Kuhlect gets the camouflage, and with 90 seconds left in this game, Complexity have taken firm control.
Yeah, this is big. They got a flag on the move, 2 go down. Frosty, though, is able to take down Cykul. He was able to overextend through Pink 1. Now he's rotated over to Car, but The most important thing he's done is delay this flag from being on the move. And right now, Kuhlect, although he has camo and he's searching for players of Faze Clan, he can't find anyone. This camo is basically nullified, and this flag stalled in front of their base. They're gonna have to get around the Slays, and they have Cykul going down first, which is a massive piece to the puzzle in getting this flag punched in.
But Kuhlect doesn't take any damage from the fight with Snakebite. Renegade's in the back base with the heat wave. Is it enough? No, Monstcr shuts him down. Complexity's flags and dreams are still alive, but Royal 2's trying to shut it down. But Cykul with the double kill. Snakebite versus Tusk. Tusk gets the trade. Monstcr has the spawn. With 40 seconds left in this game, the flag looking likely to come home for Complexity.
Yeah, they're gonna punch this one in, but what did it cost? About a minute of time that they would have had to work with to try and tie this game up. Now with 30 seconds left, Complexity don't have a lot of options to try and get a flag pull. But look at that, Monstcr, Cykul, they both pick up kills in the kill feed. Renegade and Royal 2 respond phenomenally to find 2 kills in a 4-on-2 situation. The flag is going to be pulled, but they've got to deal with Renegade in the enemy base as well. Cykul in the kill feed finds that one. And right now, Tusk needs to find a way to win this one-on-one. He has thrust, he does so, and that could give them life.
Tusk using the thrust to take down the Halo 5 MVP. Going back to the good old days. Kuhlect not going to be able to get the kill, but did buy enough time. Tusk able to pull. It resets the timer, but they're so far away from this flag. It's a Congo line that needs to come to get to this and touch it. The time's running out. Just a second left, and they will not be able to extend the time. Faze survives the end game of Complexity and goes up 2-1 in our best of 7.
That damn pie chart gets you every time. A phenomenal attempt from Complexity there at the end, but those 2 kills from Renegade, from Royal 2, they really stalled the opportunity that Complexity was going to have. In a 4-on-2 situation, you got to figure out a way to not go 2 down if you're Complexity. And honestly, that second cap that they got, it took way too long to get punched in. They should have had that thing figured out, especially with all 4 down from Faze coming off respawn. You can't let Frosty get the first kill onto the flag carrier and delay that flag from moving for that long. But it's little moments like that, even individual kills like that, that Frosty can get, that really make a difference in the opportunity that the enemy team is going to have at that realistic comeback. And a good job by Faze to close this one out. It's been close games across the board here, but Faze find themselves up 2-1 now in our grand finals.
I love the stats from this Faze team. Look at that. Everyone really picked up their responsibility in this game. There's not one player that shines on the kills. Everyone was seeming to get involved for this Faze team. It felt like a true unit in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, everybody seems like they're playing well, and honestly, on the side of Complexity, you see Cykul with 26, but it doesn't really feel like anyone's playing poorly in this grand finals. Everybody's come to play. The stats are going to be something to watch as games unfold, but I mean, such highly contested games is everything the fans can ask for, and us as commentators, I mean, this is what really makes the moment special, is getting these interesting games.
Frosty at the end, securing this game, the double kill. Cykul not able to get there in time as Snakebite finds that final kill, and everyone on Faze within, I think, about 2 kills of each other, so equal loads for everyone, and that keeps them fresh going into game 4. Live Fire, King of the Hill. This is going to be the first game where we're going to see the S7 sniper rifle play an impact, and it's going to be with one of the deadliest teams in the game when you put a sniper in their hand. I mean, Clutch, can you talk about the legacy and the prowess of this Faze roster and what they've done with the sniper rifle?
I mean, they have 4 of the best snipers to ever do it, right? I think, like, when you think of snipers, you think of Frosty, Royal 2, Renegade, but a player you maybe don't think of that, I mean, when I teamed with him, I thought he was the iciest sniper to ever do it, and Snakebite. And I mean, if you're Complexity, you got to find a way to not allow Faze to get comfortable, to get this to get the sandbox, right? You have to dominate that story. You need it in Kuhlect's hands to create openings. You need it in Cykul's hands in order to make some plays, and you need to keep it out of Faze Clan's hands. So wasting ammo, a viable strategy here if you do get that S7 in your pocket, because giving it over to members like Lucid, like the members on Faze, like it's a bad recipe for success, I'd say. That overshield control is going to be utterly important as well. The last time we saw these two teams play King of the Hill, it was a 4-0 game, and it was not close. So I'm looking at Complexity to see if the King of the Hill game is a little bit cleaner here on Live Fire against Faze. That winners bracket finals, it's all over, right? This is a completely different series. These games have been so close. I would hate for Complexity to not stay in this series because of a mode that they may not be as clean at Faze at.
Yeah, it feels like at Faze, any point that they turn it up, they can just run away, especially on the King of the Hill game type. They're one of the best in the league when it comes to King of the Hill. They win 67% of their games, and while Complexity have a huge task ahead of them, they have to keep this Faze roster off this power weapon, and Renegade, he's already on the flank with the heat wave.
Good job by Complexity. They get the snipe. Kuhlect put it to work, takes down the heat wave player. It's actually gonna be Cykul with that heat wave. Overshield's coming up. It's smoked off, and Monstcr, he's gonna be able to get it. So all of the sandbox early on going to Complexity. Early time, however, is gonna be in Faze Clan's hands. Very often is that the case. It's just a matter of what do you do with the sandbox in order to make up the difference is the big question. That overshield pretty much eliminated after Monstcr was able to activate it. So Faze Clan do a good job of neutralizing that power. They get about half of the hill, and Complexity finally with control are going to have to respawn now.
All right, Clutch, I brought up the win percentage of this Faze roster, 67%. It's not the highest, one of their weaker game types overall, but when they do win, it's by a statement. 3 captures difference between the teams when they do win. So expect to see this Faze roster either be very hot and just run away with a game, or have a huge deficit when they go down. And so far, it seems like they've had no problems getting back into that hill. Kuhlect had the sniper rifle, but it just hasn't played an impact.
I mean, look, Complexity outslayed Faze Clan in that first hill, but the hill was so dominantly in the favor of Faze that they're able to take the early lead there. That's objective efficiency at its finest there from Faze Clan to give them the 1-0 lead early on.
Kuhlect, he had the next rotation for hill, but Faze just not giving him any opportunity to use that sniper rifle. Renegade comes, and it's at the most awkward moment. It's Kuhlect caught in the reload, and he has really no opportunity to fight back, and the rest of his team starting to feel the repercussions hitting the respawn screen. Tusk is last alive, but not for long. Renegade shuts it down. Complexity go 4 down, and now they have to trek across the entire map.
I mean, let's talk about it. How this game starts off, Complexity goes for all the power on the map. Faze Clan play for the hill. Yeah, they get the slays, but by the time that power is put to use, the hill goes into Faze's hands. There's no power to really fight for the second hill, and Faze Clan are able to get 4 down. They get that second overshield. This is a masterclass of Live Fire King of the Hill from Faze Clan.
Synchronization between these players as well. It feels like they're constantly finding a collapse at the right moment, and it's been to devastating results. Renegade trying to use that shroud screen to peek in and out. He's gonna get some extra damage on Tusk, and Snakebite's there for the finish. Faze not gonna be able to secure this hill in this moment, as a nice stick from Kuhlect takes them down. Complexity finally breaks the spawns, but this fight's not over yet. Sniper's up for grabs.
Yeah, you get snipe again, but unfortunately that was a bit of an overextension. Going for the snipe is the right play when you have the numbers, but maybe gun out and taking down Renegade as he's taking you down is a better success. Unfortunately, an overheat from Kuhlect right there is going to take him down. Trades across the board are going to benefit Faze Clan. Royal 2 now found himself the S7. Let's see what he can do.
Backing away for now, looking for an angle. He finds one on Cykul, but Cykul able to run away to safety. 2 players from Complexity hiding in the back, but Royal 2 and Snakebite, they have to know, but woo, the damage is done. Tusk able to pick up both. The repulse play from his teammate Cykul makes all the difference, and Faze just get eviscerated at the back of hill.
That was a massive play by Tusk. The repulse back tower takes down Royal 2, gets a snipe, more importantly, out of his hand, puts it to use. Currently, Tusk is taking over this second hill right now and giving Complexity a leg to stand on to tie this game up.
Just about 10 more seconds will get the job done. You see Snakebite and Renegade looking for a last-second opportunity, but I don't think it's going to come in time. They're going to have to give up this hill. We're tied up 1-all And Faze, I don't think they've won the rotation. Is that Monstcr all the way at the back of hill?
Monster's gonna be top middle. Tusk still at tower. Hasn't really tried to rotate yet, but finally taken down. 9, 3, and 8 for Tusk, but that was a hell of a sequence from him in that lifespan, picking up that snipe, putting it to use to tie this game up. Everything Complexity needed. They needed someone to step up and make a play, start to take over the game, and keep them in this one. Tusk gave them everything they could ask for. And now Faze find themselves on their back feet. Gonna have to retake Complexity's third king of the hill, I'm sorry, as this one's already over halfway.
You see Frosty, he's looking for an opportunity to get towards that hill, waiting for his teammates to make the play. Kuhlect shuts the first down, his teammates go down, but he's gonna win the spawn, getting towards back B for his teammates. Switch to come into this hill. The spike grenades can do so much damage. Frosty trying to deal with the peak, and he's not gonna be able to survive. Snakebite gets the kill, but you're seeing how much damage Kuhlect was able to do, and we're still playing for the 50-50, but Snakebite, he's playing for overkills. The triple comes in. Tusk survives just enough for now, but it's Frosty who has the task ahead of him, has to take down these players and find a successful push for his team.
Yeah, it does phenomenal damage on the two of them, but can't figure out a way to take down either one, and nobody on Faze Clan's in a position. Kuhlect with the repulse, able to take down Snakebite, but more pressure coming from House. Back and forth these kills are going, but look, Complexity fighting from the hill this entire time has basically secured the second point, and that's going to do it. Monstcr able to actually punch that one in. All of a sudden, what felt like a Faze Clan domination from the start of the game is now in Complexity's hands, and they're able to play with this lead now. It'll be very interesting to see how much control they can get of this fourth hill before it goes top middle, and at that point, are we looking at playing time?
It almost feels as if, you know, Complexity never changed their ways, right? Clutch, you said at the beginning, they valued the power weapons, and I feel like maybe the tax has finally come due for Faze. It feels like they haven't had any power weapon control in the last 3 minutes of the game.
Yeah, no, Complexity are doing everything right as far as controlling the power, even the repulse being put to use here as we see it on Cykul's screen. And I mean, if you're Faze Clan, you're playing efficient objective up until this point, but some of this power has got to go into your hands in order to really create some of the differential in the slays, because right now Kuhlect is popping off with 18, 6, and 10, and nobody's really able to match that level of power that he's been able to play around on the side of Faze.
Monstcr has one more opportunity to get towards this hill. Faze, they haven't really felt that much pressure inside the hill itself. They've gotten it to halfway, and now these kills starting to go in favor of Faze while they're scoring. Complexity in danger of not even getting 1 second of time on this very open hill towards Overshield before Faze gets it. Faze ties up the game. It felt like very little resistance from Complexity on the rotation.
Yeah, notice how when the power is off of the map, Faze Clan have a much higher success rate in that hill, playing an efficient objective, right? They need to do a better job of when that power is coming up. Speaking of, Overshield coming up momentarily. They need to do a better job of controlling that, because giving it all to Complexity has showed you that Complexity with that power will be able to stay in this game.
Monstcr gets the opening shots down, but not before Snakebite can pop in the extra shield. Glowing Yellow gets into this hill and is daring Complexity to come challenge him. He's had the number in the individual gunfights throughout this game, and you can feel that confidence through Snakebite. He's looking for anyone to take a challenge, but Complexity have kept their distance and is just bleeding Snakebite's extra shields away.
This Overshield maybe not being used efficiently, or effectively, I should say, but at least it's not in the hands of Complexity. Two members gonna have to slide back tower to take him down. In the meantime, they are scoring time in the hill as well, and important time that is, because this is a 2-2 game going the distance right now on the back of Kuhlect, dropping at 22, 8, and 13. He's been playing phenomenal all grand finals long. He's keeping his team in this one, in this series. They need to win here to make this go the distance to a game 5.
Sniper rifle coming up soon. This will really be the first chance that Faze has had to control the sniper in this game, but Monstcr trying to get control of the tower. I believe it was Renegade was the player that got away with this sniper rifle, and sometimes when you see him line it up, Clutch, it always feels like it's going to hit home.
Yeah, you can tell when Renegade's going to hit the shot. It's that whip that he always has lined up. But in the meantime, let's talk about a complexity. I mean, Renegade, you can have your snipe, you can go bottom middle, you can hit the no scope, but we're going to take the point. They're going to get immediately in the next hill, so they're not going to look to play time here with 1 minute and 32 seconds left. They're going to look to try and score this fourth and final point. Overshield's not up for 20. No. Tusk is taking the head off Royal 2. In the meantime, an early time, once again, going into complexity. Faze are looking on like they're on the ropes here in game 4.
Yeah, Faze need to swing and find a knockout blow. They have to break into this hill now. Complexity getting closer and closer to victory. Frosty across the map playing for the overshield for now. Snakebite breaks the tower. Renegade was trying to buy time towards this hill, but you just don't have that much time to give. Monster's soaking up the time. Royal 2 has to go play for the challenge, but on the other side, it looks like Kuhlect has won the fight for overshield, and he's lighting up the feed. So we look at all the time that they had to spend away from that overshield, and now the overshield could secure. It could be the dagger that wins this game.
This one should be over. Complexity have control of the hill. They're getting the slays they need. Only 2 players left to really deal with on the side of Faze to say anything about it, but I mean, it's Snakebite and Royal 2. And they get a kill. They get in the hill. They neutralize this. They try to give themselves an opportunity for respawners to make a play. Unfortunately, try as you might, Complexity get the kills. You can win 1, Frosty, but you can't win 2, and that's going to do it. Complexity will win game 4 and tie this best of 7 up to game 5. Typically a very pivotal game in a best of 7. When you get that game lead in order to close the door on the series going into the last best of, what, 3? It's very important to try and get this one under your belt. But there's a lot of opportunity here for both teams because of the sandbox on the map. I mean, you're talking 2 S7s. We've seen what Kuhlect can do. We've seen Cykul have success throughout this series as well. We know who the players on Faze are. It's just a matter of who gets themselves in the position to pop off.
And Complexity also seeing a lot of success on this map, like you said. Although a new roster, not a lot of maps to go on, but they have 100% win percentage thus far, 3-0 in tournament gameplay. And hey, you'll take that absolutely if you're Complexity.
100% is pretty good. You can't ask for much more, but if you can make it 100% after this game, I'd be very impressed.
Well, so far it seems like everything has gone into the hands of Faze. Both snipers and Renegade and Frosty's hand, and then you have Snakebite with the rockets on the other side. I talk about having everything you could possibly want, and it's headshot after headshot. Kuhlect, don't peek. Oh no, Renegade gets 2. Kuhlect finally pushes him down, but the damage is done.
And this is what can't happen if you're on Complexity. You cannot give your sniper away. You cannot lose all of the battle for the power, and immediately the one player without a power weapon, he's winning this gunfight as well. The heat wave snipe and Renegade's finally taken down, but a lot of damage done. A 6-kill lead her early on, and Royal 2 extends it to 7.
It's just so funny. Anytime you go to any player on Faze, you're excited to see them with the snipe. We saw Frosty and Renegade have the first 2. Now Royal 2 picks it up and starts putting it to work. Complexity has to prioritize keeping this weapon in particular out of Faze's hands, and it shows why Faze is so successful on this map. Any player at any moment can pop off with any weapon at their disposal, and right now they are just sliding through Complexity like a hot knife through butter.
Still just an 8-kill game. It's not out of control yet, but Royal 2 in a position to extend it. That's a big kill to take him down. Maybe you get a snipe for the first time in your hands this game, and power coming up in 30 seconds from now. The battle for map control is important. It looks like Complexity getting around the slays could find the opening they need.
Right now, Royal 2 getting some damage in, and Frosty with the cleanup. Monster's gonna try to get away, but there's just nowhere you can go. Faze, when they find you, they decimate you. They are making sure you see that respawn screen. With Overshield and rockets coming up, this is the big fight for Complexity. They need this utility, and so far they pushed them away. Tusk, while Red Bard still gets the rockets, and he gets the kill as well. How does Tusk get away?
That's a veteran ace-3 play from Tusk right there. Unfortunately, somehow that rocket and the shots after don't take down Frosty, but Tusk, his ability to stay alive, the time on the rocket to shoot it in order to get the kill on the player pushing him was perfect. That is game sense that he has from the experience he has. playing Halo 3 so much on the pit, it gives him that little bit of an advantage here to keep his team in this one. As dominant as a game as this has looked on the side of Faze, it's still just a 4-kill game.
And sniper up, Kuhlect's gonna be able to grab that one away before Frosty can put the shot down range. It's a sniper on sniper battle. Kuhlect has been a demon throughout this tournament, but this is the biggest problem they've had so far. This team on this map with sniper control, it seems to be an impossible task, but somehow they kept themselves close. But it's the god. Look at all those nades raining down from Faze. They wanted to prioritize Kuhlect. They got the kill, and Renegade's not done yet. Perfect shots from him. He is controlling the complexity base.
He's gonna get taken down though. Nobody on Faze to try to be in a position to really keep him alive right there. And Renegade losing that heat wave in the repulse is tough, but Tuss doesn't expect Royal 2 to be flanking in the courtyard right now. FaZe Clan are looking to be so aggressive. You can tell the call to action is going to be their courtyard. But Complexity doing a good job to shut them down. It's still a 4-kill game as map control kind of subsides in the halves, and they need to get Renegade out of sword, and they send multiple players in order to do so.
Renegade kind of feel the pressure of Monstcr's VR taken off the map, but there's always been an answer for Faze, constantly finding picks within the gap, and that drop shield's going to block any grenade from getting Royal 2, even though he's been taken down to 1 shot. Cykul taking his turn with the sniper. Feels like you're always going to see one of these things on the map, and who's going to be able to take the head is the question. Who peaks Cykul in this position? Finally, Faze feels like for the first time are really having to slow this down.
Nice find under Frosty there. Trying to get an angle on the rockets. It's not an easy shot and doesn't hit the timing window to take down Snakebite, so you better get overshield if you lost rockets. And look how Snakebite is rotating over towards this overshield very quickly. He's gonna get the kill on the Renegade, but Snakebite's already here. But the overshield gets activated. A ton of damage on the Snakebite as well. Forces him to back down. Those rockets get neutralized. What a play by Cykul in order to get there, the timing window to punch that into his chest. Tools, I mean, that is everything to keep your team into this one. Still a 7-kill game, but it would have been a lot worse if Snakebite ends up with that overshield.
Yeah, we're talking about maybe a frames of difference between that rocket hitting in time.
A single frame.
Yeah, if that rocket comes a frame sooner, that overshield doesn't get popped. And the overshield rocks over into Faze's hands, and you have a Snakebite with a rocket still to work with and the extra shields. That play might have just saved an opportunity for Complexity to maybe come back in this game, but they really haven't found a solution for Faze. It feels like they've had their way on the map.
8 kills separate the two. Sword control from Monstcr, so I mean, you got one thing going in your favor with map control, you'd say. If you can find a way to get some picks, get on top of the turret. No lead is safe on Empyrean Slayer, but right now posted up it's Snakebite in the long haul with Cama or with Snipe, and that's an easy kill for him to finish off even with the drop wall.
I think Tusk got a little ahead of himself, thinking that maybe he could take that challenge. Snakebite just pops down the window and says, hey, put your head through there, I'll take it off. And well, so far Faze are just putting Complexity on the screen once again. 2 going down, and now Faze, it doesn't really feel like they need to push at all. They can just really play some stiff defense, it feels like, Clutch.
Kuhlect's gonna rotate. Maybe he can catch Frosty here with the snipe, and that's a big kill. I love the rotate with the snipe to relocate and be in a position maybe you're not suspected of. And this is still a winnable game. It's gonna be very difficult. With weapons and overshield coming up in 20 seconds, Complexity need to find a way to control both of these, win the battle at both of these, and successfully do so without trading if they want any chance in coming back.
Well, Faze got to put their numbers towards this overshield. Monstcr and Tusk are the players that can maybe make an impact with it. They're starting to push through. Kuhlect hits the snipe shot on Royal 2. He's immediately full sending it into the back of Faze's base. They're going to be able to secure the rockets because of this, but Snakebite's going to get the extra shields. Kuhlect taking some heavy damages with only 3 more kills left for Faze. It feels like this game is getting out of hand. Snakebite not
Wait a minute now.
Survive for now. 2. Okay, only 2 deaths to give up, and Kuhlect's playing on an island. He has no help.
Yeah, he needs some help. He's got a lot of focus on him right now. Players are trying to hunt him down, but he relocates to the pit box, and I love this by him. Now he's going to be able to play with his team a little bit better. Now they have an opportunity to get an angle looking over him, but now Cykul is the one that's by himself, and Kuhlect needs to find a way to impact these last couple players. A nice body shot on the Renegade, but can't hit the one on the Snakebite, and all Faze need is one more kill.
And Snakebite frustrated. He collects one shot in front of me, but he couldn't go because of Tusk standing at the second VR. And finally, Frosty gets the kill. And I mean, heroic efforts from Kuhlect at the end of the game. It felt like the man went on absolute tear, but just too little too late. And now the series back in control of Faze 3-2 as we move into our next game.
Faze did such a good job to get their early lead, which they well deserved with the 2 snipes, the rockets, everything in their hands, and they never gave it up, right? They always were able to play from about a 3, 4, 5 kill lead throughout the entire game, trade efficiently, did a good job of balancing the power, and Complexity just couldn't find the opening, the opportunity, the numbers that they needed in order to make that difference ever up. They did a good job to stay in it. A lot of shots got hit, but none is quite as nice as the one on Renegade, and you know he's kicking himself for missing that triple. That would have been something special. But I mean, Kuhlect, he's just so difficult to hit when he's doing that little crouch strafe that he's so famous for.
I feel like, like in the history of Halo, who do you think has some of those best strafes? Who does Kuhlect remind you of the old guard when it comes to his strafing ability?
Honestly, when I think of strafes, I think of like Hysteria had a nasty strafe. I know Maniac likes to quote that he had like some crazy strafe. I never really had a problem killing the guy, but I think everybody does it differently. But if you want to talk about difficult kills, Pistola and his movement, especially in a time where there wasn't advanced movement like sprint, was something special to watch. And when you're a difficult kill like that, when those easy shots are like when you're trying to line something up and they just make it impossible, unpredictable in a sense, that just changes the outcome of so much of the game at times.
Yeah, it does feel like, you know, Kuhlect has a great shot and all that, but like you said, sometimes it feels like it's the strafe that makes the difference, more him making players miss shots and necessarily hitting them. Because it feels like he somehow survives in some of these crazy situations. I mean, how long was he alive at the end of that game in particular when he had that sniper just getting kill after kill at the back base, taking damages, but always able to survive. And now we go into this game 6, and it's the one game type we haven't played yet in this grand finals. Oddball on its way, and Oddball can sometimes go for a decade, it feels. You know, get ready to strap on in. This is going to be a battle of attrition between these two teams, Clutch.
Yeah, and this is one of the game types, if I'm Complexity, I'm happy to see this as game 6, because Oddball has not really been a strength of Faze throughout their time period as a team. Their efficiency in the objective department is always something they leave on the table. But recently, I feel like they picked it up. Frosty started to play a lot more objective, and pairing that with Snakebite's already objective play and focus, we've had a lot of success. When Renegade gets doubles with rockets, good things usually happen as well. And as we kick this one off, Ace Clan will give themselves an opportunity to jump out to an early lead. But the last player alive in Tusk, it actually plays his life perfectly and is able to at least delay some early time going to Faze.
Yeah, it feels like we've seen an identity change from this Faze roster since the pickup of Renegade. We're starting to see players like Frosty take more of that objective role. We saw him earlier in the tournament yesterday where he was the leading holder for his team. And, you know, I feel like you said, it's brought life to Faze, but on the other side, Complexity, they're not the greatest Oddball team. Just a 22% win percentage on Oddball. And it's a tough ask for them to be going up against Faze, who seem to have second life, but Complexity's still trying to figure it out.
They're a new team, they'll still try to figure it out. And I mean, you could say the same for Faze in a sense of, hey, with these talented players, what is their ceiling? How do they continue to improve? And is Oddball an area where they can find some of that opportunity to get better and improve? Kuhlect right now continuing his prowess here in the grand finals. Starts off this game 6 at 6-0. Finally taken down, but what a run he's been on. How the level he's been playing at, I mean, there's something to talk about for Complexity to be able to have the opportunity to pick up such a talented player like they did Kuhlect. I mean, it fell right into their hands, and what a better, well, I mean, you can't ask for a better opportunity to give this roster more firepower than what Kuhlect's been able to provide all tournament long.
Unfortunately for Complexity, they go 3 down. Kuhlect, he's been having a hell of a start, and it gave them 38 seconds of opening time, but Faze has found the break, but it might not last for long. Monstcr, he has the rockets and an opportunity to make an impact. And Nade does not take him down. A scary moment for Monstcr, but still going to be able to have a play to push forward with these rockets. And well, it's going to earn him a double kill. And this is immediately taking back the ball. Kuhlect holding it for Complexity. Faze only able to get like 10-ish seconds of time before the answer was found from Complexity.
Yeah, the slays aren't too heavily in the favor of Complexity, but look at the time. It's a 40-point lead now for Complexity. Monstcr applying a ton of pressure, trying to be a difficult kill, slip slide as best he can, but Snakebite takes him down. But in the meantime, across the map is Kuhlect with 21 seconds at 7-2-2. Make it 8-2-2 as he picks up the ball and continues to build a lead for Complexity. This round one, and Complexity looked flawless in all honesty.
Kuhlect finally getting taken down, and that's going to be a 2 down for now, and the ball just in front of Faze. They want to take this one home. Snakebite wrapping around to alleviate potential pressure. The spawns from Complexity all the way across the map at Red Room, and Snakebite has found the quick flank on the first. Kuhlect's endangered being the second, but just able to take down Snakebite in time. And look how fast Kuhlect gets back into that fight, Clutch.
Yeah, absolutely. He hits that curb slide across the map, and there we go. There goes that man, mama. 10-2-4, continuing to impact the outcome of this first round. 64-29 now. 40-point lead continued on. Rockets are coming up in 5 seconds, and if you're Faze Clan, it's a difficult decision. Do you try to overextend and take down this ball carrier who's building up an even more significant lead, or do you play for Rockets? You got to find a way to get slays. It is going to be Cykul, last player alive for Complexity, so they get both the kill onto the ball carrier and the Rockets. And now this is the one opportunity I'd say Faze have to come back in this game. They need to put these Rockets to use.
Yeah, everything went right at the right time. Getting the Rockets, getting the slays, and the ball time all at once. But I think that's a wall right there, Snakebite. He's gonna see we're gonna see him 8 seconds later, and fortunately they're able to pick up that rocket, but that one rocket mistake might cost them unless Royal 2 keeps doing that.
A big kill from Royal 2 keeps them in this game right now. He's gonna have so much map control to play around. Although he's not getting ball time in this situation, look at where his teammates spawned, over towards Cafe. They would not be here if Royal 2 did not win that one-on-one. Because of that, it's now just about a 15-point game. Math is tough on the fly, but Royal 2 flying front tower, able to find 2 kills, and this is going to be Faze Clan's real chance to stay in this one. A massive one-on-one from Renegade, but unfortunately, all 4 members of Faze go down, and Kuhlect, last man standing, gets the ball in hand.
I love this. Drop the ball. He says, I got all this power weapon, and I'm getting all the slays for my team. Make sure I don't have to have any of that objective in my hand.
Yeah, when I'm 15-3-6, you get the ball.
Absolutely, man. I love that dynamic that you see through teams. And sometimes it's like, hey, like if you're Royal 2, he's not touching it. You know, he has 44 seconds in this game. That's an anomaly. Let me tell you what.
Probably why they're losing is what Royal 2 thinks in his head.
But I think that's like a reality for a lot of these teams, Clutches. There are objective players for a reason. Sometimes you can't have a player like Royal 2 getting that objective time. I think when he does have time, I don't think that their success rate has been that great. But
99 is not enough.
Oh my God, he just came through. Gets the kill. 1 second left for Complexity to get this round 1 victory. But Faze is putting up a last stand.
99 is not enough, and Complexity now, with rockets in hand, are going to have to find the final push to get the first kill. Monstcr wants that ball, but gets baited by it. And Royal 2 finds that kill. 3 go down. And Toolez, we thought this round 1 was wrapping up. We were a little bit casual with it, but Royal 2 flies in, gets the kill onto the ball carrier. Now all of a sudden, Complexity starting to sweat. 30 points is all Faze Clan needed on a couple of slays. That is a instant reality, And this rotation from Royal 2 is textbook. Unfortunately, he gets taken down, and that's going to do it. Complexity finally put an end to it, but not without a very big chance for Faze to try and steal that first round.
Yeah, it feels like the Shroud Train was a big difference maker at the end of that round. You saw it popped up right where that ball was. It allowed Complexity to push in, get that ball, and take round one. And once again, this is Faze's best game type of map for Oddball, and this is Complexity's worst. And somehow we're seeing Complexity come out very strong. Kuhlect at 17 and 9. The power weapon's going to Tusk. He's the last player in the entire lobby. All other 7 players were on the respawn screen, and he's going to be able to get that ball back towards his team. Complexity keeping on with their strong Oddball performance.
Still one rocket to work with as well, and that's going to make it an easy kill onto the first. Early ball time once again going to Complexity. They got to play from a lead the entire first round. It's such a different mindset when you're not trying to play catch up, when you're not feeling like you're on your back heels, to be able to play from that lead. So Complexity doing a good job to build it. Unfortunately, it only goes as far as 16 right now as Faze break that early setup and start to accumulate time of their own.
Any type of action, he's gonna get it from the B cross, trying to get Kuhlect, but oh man, Kuhlect's a hard kill. Renegade gonna be able to get it nonetheless. Time for Faze right now, and Monstcr came searching for Renegade, but he just wasn't there. He says peekaboo, I'm back. 4 shots later, Monstcr is gonna go back to his home base.
I like this positioning by Renegade. Does he play for audio cues is the question. Unfortunately, the timing isn't there, and Monster's going to get some free damage onto him. The push is actually going on the other side of the map right now. It's a one-on-one between Renegade and Monstcr, and Renegade's going to lose that one. Monstcr opens up the map, but we'll see what happened over at the shotgun side of the map now. It looks like Complexity have finally broken this setup, but look at this. Faze, a 30-point lead in hand. Rockets are coming up, and we'll see if they can get to them in time as respawners are coming up.
You know what's been one of the biggest differences in round 1 to round 2? I wonder if you have any insight on this, Clutch. Is just who's holding the ball. This time, Snakebite, 60 seconds. It's all coming in this round. Like half of it's coming in this round alone.
This is just gonna feed into Royal 2's like ego and like his thought process of not getting the ball. So I'm not even gonna entertain this in case he listens back to this. There's no chance that you can say, hey, we have an objective player. In today's Halo, anybody that's in position to get the ball better pick the damn ball up.
Pick the damn ball up. Well, that's what Complexity needs to do to get back into this game. So far, it's been Faze Clan pretty far and away at the start of this round, but now Complexity suddenly starting to get a little bit more room on the map. You see Faze spawning all the way towards Red Room. Monstcr trying to hit those nades. Be able to success, but here comes the push. Faze pushing their way into PD. Snakebite's gonna find that first pick, and here comes the onslaught. Oh my god, Faze. I can't believe Frosty's taking that challenge.
Frosty's gonna take that challenge. It's good shots from Monstcr in order to answer the ring of the bell there from Frosty. Unfortunately, too much pressure came from the left side of the map, and Roll 2 with some perfect shots, keeps some map control for his team, but is forced to back away from the ball. But look at that relocate, unsuspected by Tusk. It's an easy catch Tusk off guard trick, I'd call it, as you're able to find a free kill, and that's going to allow Faze Clan numbers. And the ball shortly here is, it is rotated into Tram, but only 2 players to defend it, and here come Faze.
Yeah, Faze has to feel frustrated after that. They did all that work, got all those kills, but somehow Monstcr got the ball away, and he's just soaking it up. Got the kill. Royal 2. He just give me a second, man. Let me put those 4 shots in you. Get that ball out of your hands. But Complexity seemed to be winning the gunfights when they matter the most.
Honestly, a phenomenal job by the last 2 players alive. The rotation from Monstcr was perfect. They get a couple of kills, and a 5-point lead now for Complexity as rockets come up. Monstcr puts them to use. Tusk with the ball in hand. Nobody really near your ball carrier, which is kind of the one blunder I'd say in this whole play, but no harm, no foul if you're able to get these last 2 slays. Unfortunately, it is going to be Royal 2, and that's easier said than done.
Well, Kuhlect's last alive. He does have access towards his ball and a stalker rifle to work with. Can he make a one-man stand? As he waits for his teammates to spawn, he found the first. Frosty might just be the second. Kuhlect's on the hunt. as Frosty needs to win this gunfight. Monstcr's coming in from the back, but Frosty takes the kill before Monstcr can get there. And Faze trying to get towards this ball, but Complexity has the easier access at the moment.
A lot of pressure going on. The first 2 kills are going to go in Faze's favor. Monstcr going to try and probably get this ball out of here, knowing how desperate Faze are to try and tie this game up, take the lead. Unfortunately, can't quite throw it out the wedge, and with that, we'll see if Faze can get it back in, but it's a good exposed position that Complexity are able to take advantage of from that B stronghold.
Frosty gets some extra damage down on the staircase, shooting that grenade that's on the ground. Always love to see those remote detonation plays. Doesn't result in the kill, but it does back Cykul away, and now he's found the finish throughout the Shadow Realm, and Frosty's on a tear. Double kill. It feels like Complexity's, they have to take care of this man in particular. Frosty finally heating up after a slow start to this game.
It's got to be frustrating for Faze right now. It feels like they're winning the battle of the Slays over at Tram, but they haven't been able to get the ball secured up until this point. Renegade finally gets that ball in hand, but with this Stalker rifle in hand, you know he wants to drop it and compete for rockets. He's able to create an opportunity to maybe give his team an opening, but as I say that, Frosty roll 2, they both go down. Rockets once again in the hands of Complexity.
Rocket comes through. Kuhlect gets the first, gets the second as well. This ball back in an open position. Royal 2 needs to win the fight versus the shotgun. That's just not going to happen. It is back and forth. It is number after number from both these teams. They are just putting all their resources towards this ball, and now suddenly the game time is also going to start playing a factor. Only a minute of game clock left, so every second that ball is out of a team's hand, you're going to see that clock dissipate just a little bit more. And right now, Faze have the better position, but not the numbers as Complexity starts roaring into the hold.
Yeah, good damage from Snakebite there, but nobody on his team with him to capitalize on it. 2 players and no shield. Both those players from Complexity live, and what looked like was going to be a potential opportunity to Faze clan setup gets flipped on its head, and now it's Complexity regaining the lead here in a moment. Back tower, and Faze clan are going to feel pressed to push, because it's up to 80 points, and you're going to have maybe 1 successful push after this at an opportunity to keep this game going.
Oh, Monstcr was on the flank. He gets 2. Royal 2 lasers him down with the Sentinel beam, but the damage is still in. Complexity, they have the ball. 4 players go down. It's just 20 seconds. Snakebite's going to be the first one in, but can he get there in time? 10 seconds for Complexity to win this game of ball time. Faze gets the spawn because of Snakebite's push, hiding in the Shadow Realm. Snakebite finally appears, and Tusk takes the opening damage. It's blow for blow, but now the game clock really playing an impact. 20 seconds of game time, 11 seconds of ball time for Complexity to win. I don't think Complexity is going to try to pick up this ball.
Now they're going to slay out. Faze clan are going to have one last life to say something about this game 6, or Complexity will push this series to a game 7. 5 seconds on the clock. Kuhlect trying to defend the ball. Renegade tries to pick it up, but can't quite get it. A grenade under his feet is going to make this game go in Complexity's favor. It's 2-0 in the game. It's 3-3 in the series. This grand finals first best of 7 is going the distance.
I don't think many people would have predicted a game 7 going into this grand finals, but here we are. It comes down to Slayer on live fire to make the difference. We've seen on this map we had Complexity with the advantage on King of the Hill. Faze now having, if they don't want this bracket to reset, right, they want to get this done in 1, they have to ice up Complexity 1 step closer to potentially becoming the 4K champions. And just to talk about the impact of Complexity's run today, Clutch, when they came into today's tournament, take a look at their seed right there, number 11. Now, Clutch, only the top 10 teams from North America are going to qualify for DreamHack, for the DreamHack event in Dallas in just a little bit over a month from now. So Complexity was desperately needing these pro points, and well, so far I think they've had the best possible run you could ask for.
Yeah, I think when when the moment becomes this big, these online tournaments, it means something to one team a lot more than it means to the other, right? What it means for Optic Gaming to come into today and win the tournament, not much, right? A bunch of points that, hey, we're already in first seed. It's not going to help us. For a team like Complexity, they woke up today with a lot of weight on their shoulders, with a chip on their shoulder, right? Something to prove, something to earn, something to go out and get. Complexity have done such a good job this weekend of going out and getting theirs and earning their spot at DreamHack, and they've done everything they can to push this series the distance. It's in game 7 and an opportunity to reset the bracket, and then it's on the back of individuals stepping up. I mean, how many times are we seeing Kuhlect just win a one-on-one, a 1v2, like just make a play with the power weapons that you're given? Cykul's having a phenomenal series as well. Tusk is, I mean, everybody's doing their thing. And to beat a team like Faze Clan after beating a team like Optic, to show the world that you belong in series like this, at least in an online tournament, I mean, that is a massive step in these young guns' careers.
We'll talk about the experience of both these teams, right, Faze? Yeah, 4 world champions on this roster. On the other side of Complexity, I mean, we've had careers out of Tusk and Monstcr, but they really haven't had that massive finish that we've seen before. Monstcr gets the triple kill to open up this game. He has the power weapons and the overshield, but I really feel like this is a moment where Faze can kind of lean back on their experience in the Halo history.
Hey, Monstcr, no better way to start off a game 7 in the grand finals with a triple overshield, heat wave, flanking 2, finding 2, an assist onto a 3rd. A phenomenal start, a perfect start for Monstcr right now. 8-6 might be the score, but he is popping off right now to keep his team not only in this, but to give them a lead. And I like this play by him to back up, to reset, and collect with the snipe. Complexity have the game in their hands here.
When it comes to clutch games this year, Faze 2-4, Complexity 1-2. Faze have had some troubles against Optic Gaming. Kuhlect doesn't have any problems finding the head of players.
Oh my god.
I cannot believe how Monstcr and Kuhlect are playing in this game thus far. Monstcr has yet to die. 5-0 to start this game.
Everything going right. Everyone playing perfect so far for Complexity. That snipe from Kuhlect before getting taken down, that matters. That stick from Monstcr as he slides across top middle, that matters. 11-9 the score. Faze still staying in this, but Complexity are making plays.
L2 bops in, gets collected. Tusk finds his own answer as well. This Complexity roster, it feels like we've seen every time we're watching, everything's gone right, but the score, I mean, there's still only 2 kills separating these teams. How is this happening?
I mean, it's great teamwork, and for a team to not have too much experience teaming together, so little time, to have this much teamwork, this chemistry, to be able to compete against a team like Faze Clan, paired with the individual skill that you're gonna have to compete against a team like Faze Clan. I mean, Complexity are showing the world that they're here to play. They may not have proven themselves on LAN yet, or proven themselves throughout their careers, but these guys are stepping up to answer the ring of the bell, and they're doing it in such a perfect way to push the series the distance. It is going to be Faze Clan resetting the map control right now with the 2-kill lead, and we'll see if Complexity, this moment as it continues to build towards 50 kills, how do these players respond?
Well, sniper rifle coming up. It's going to be Cykul that has the angle, because Snakebite that has the route, able to pick up the gun and get it away, trying to get his shields back. The flanker is taken care of. Royal 2 goes trade for trade. It's up to the next. Renegade gets the kill. The sniper's so valuable. The sniper gets the body shot. Monstcr stays alive, gets the trade, but it keeps the snipe in the hands of Faze for now, as Renegade jets away after Complexity swarms into the A hill.
No idea how that grenade doesn't take him down, but somehow Monstcr able to stay alive, at least get the snipe out of Snakebite's hands, but it's found its way into Renegade's now. He relocates all the way to tower. Overshield coming up in 20 seconds. You best believe Renegade needs to position himself in a spot to try and take him down. There is a fight coming up back mud. It's going to be 2 players, and I'm not sure Renegade's going to expect this.
Renegade staying alive for now, has one more player underneath.
Beautiful.
Gets the kill. The second almost just had just enough health to stay alive, but Royal 2 gets the cleanup. The overshield walks into the hands of Faze, and suddenly this game might be in danger for Complexity. It's Faze just playing, pushing forward onto this map, but Renegade goes down. Frosty, he's in trouble as well. The pressure's coming in. He goes down. Somehow Complexity's finding the trades.
4-kill game. Snipe goes in the hands of Cykul, and honestly, I'm thinking Complexity's probably kicking themselves for trying to that mud push from earlier, right before Overshield's coming up. You think you're going to be able to catch Renegade off guard, that they may be focused on Overshield, where Faze Clan do a great job of focusing over towards the nest side. They catch that flank. They get a great set of slays in their favor. Complexity do a good job from there on out to trade it out, but right now a 4-kill lead for Faze Clan. As well as Complexity has played this entire game so far, you still see Faze in the lead.
Kuhlect creeping at top mid. Shot of this heat wave in hand, and the second he sees anyone, you have to imagine he's going to start putting down damage. 3 shots to take care of Royal 2. Renegade's on the other side. Kuhlect needs to take him down. Double for him. Within 3, Complexity in striking distance as Faze has to regroup at the back of tower, and you can just see Kuhlect. He wants to play forward.
Wants to be aggressive, but doesn't have the timing. At least he knows he doesn't have the timing. Unfortunately, going out by Overshield, it exposes you from bottom middle, and it exposes you from top tower. A great job by Faze to position players in both spots, take him down, find that free pick. And now Overshield's coming up, and Monstcr gets stuck, and Faze Clan have control.
Frosty sent a Hail Mary, said, hey, please let it hit, and it connects with Monstcr. And now look at Complexity. It feels like they're fish in a barrel, trapped, but they fight back. Oh my God, they're piranhas. They're jumping out of the water. They're getting the kills. 3 go down for Faze. Monstcr gets his 3rd overshield of the game.
We talked about Complexity pushing towards mud the last time Overshield was coming up. Well, Faze Clan ought to try and push top middle this time around as Overshield's coming up. That push is something that Faze Clan are going to regret. They don't get the trade and the damage. They don't get the upper hand, and with it, they go 3 down, give up Overshield. But a great job there by Renegade to use that plasma pistol to find the Overshield carrier, eliminate that power up, and Faze are right back in the driver's seat.
I feel like Complexity's playing great, but they really haven't had the lead. They haven't been playing from control, and Faze just 8 more kills, 2 team wipes, and this is done. Renegade getting the damage up top. That plasma pistol, ever since the update, you're seeing a lot more of that trigger finger rather than charging it up. Replacing that with the heat wave for now. Complexity, they want to take this challenge over by back tower. Renegade's awaiting and cuts, playing with his team, and it looks like they're just going to give it up. A couple kills that will go unanswered. They push the player back and have a sniper that's ready to take ahead. Cykul pulling his team back into striking distance.
3-kill game. Renegade couldn't really affect that push, and honestly, a veteran play by him to get out of there with the heat wave to make sure he doesn't give it up, but he goes down in the kill feed, so you got to think that heat wave hits the ground. Cykul, 2 bullets in the snipe to work with. A 3-kill deficit now. Overshield coming up in 25, and this is where the game's going to be decided.
Players creeping underneath. Look at that, 3 players from Faze pushing over towards pillars. Cycle's looking for anyone to take. There's just no one that's exposing their head. On the other side, Complexity has that 3-man push going on the other side, leaving Cykul on a tower. Leaving Cykul by himself on a tower. Ooh, look at that flank.
He does the jump. He gets back tower right before Overshield's coming up. He finds the kill onto the snipe, and now Complexity don't have that same pressure onto the Overshield that they would have, and they're going to go down trying to fight for it. 47-43. They lose a couple of players. They get the Overshield. It's still a 3-kill game. They do a great job to recover from that, but Jesus, you can't let that happen if you're Complexity. What a kill by Royal 2. Still, the game goes on. 2 kills separate the 2, and 3 to go for Faze to end it.
Frosty's still alive. Finally, they take him down. I don't know how he managed to get away in that situation. Just a 1-kill game. Tusk is looking to even it up. There we go. 48 all, but Renegade gets the kill for 49. Renegade challenges Kuhlect. 49 all. Royal 2 takes his position at tower. Frosty, he's one shot. Cykul gets him down to 1. Is there anyone to clean him up? Cykul has to push down. We're starting to see this game slow down. Snipers coming up. 49 all. Complexity's been waiting for this moment in particular. Here we go. Kuhlect gets trapped out. Renegade gets the 50th kill, and Faze survives the series against Complexity. Oh my god, what a picture perfect finish in this series.
What a play call by Faze. The push on the scoreboard. It's 49-49. They get damage onto the player front A. Renegade doesn't hesitate for a second. Jumps up top scoreboard. Takes the game, the grand finals, the tournament into his own hands. Chases that player down. Takes him down. Look at this. Renegade is pushing this player. He has not thought twice about it. He's gonna live by the play, die by the play, and he's gonna win the tournament because he made the play. And what a call from the MVP, Renegade, the newest member of Faze, to take down Kuhlect and win this grand finals 50-49. It was as close of a series down the scoreboard as you can see. All the games were close, basically, but Renegade makes the one memorable moment to walk away from this 4K with, and an unbelievable decision by him to do so.
the team comps throughout this game, it felt like it was just back and forth the entire time. Complexity had so many awesome plays where it felt like, oh my god, this team is just doing what they need to do, but it never felt like they were able to get that lead, and Faze stayed in it, and then they took the lead and they just didn't let it go. It came down to the final moments, and really I want to put focus on the composition of that push, right? We talk about how Renegade puts it all into that final push, but it was interesting how Faze seemed to have put all their numbers on one side, whereas Complexity splits out that 2-2 lane, right? And there was no one in that bottom middle lane. You know, usually you'd have someone at that bottom door clutch to maybe watch the crosses with you, put 3 BRs on the same thing. Well, let's take a look at how these teams set up and walk us through this clutch of how this push materializes with the numbers on the map.
Yeah, of course. I love the fact that Complexity realized that, hey, back green's not where we want to be. They actually get out of dodge. They all opt to go into house, and they group up. This is a great play by Complexity, but the one mistake would be poking your head up top A, because that exposes you to a lot of sight lines that they weren't ready for. Tusk finds the information from window, but the second Kuhlect steps up on these grenades, he is overextended. He is out of position, and Renegade smells blood in the water. He's already in his face, and before Kuhlect really knows he's in trouble, he's already taken down.
Yeah, but look at the timing underneath, right? Like, if Renegade's 2 seconds later, look, there's Cykul and Monstcr. They're heading down to the door underneath, right? If Renegade's any later on this push, they just melt him as he opens up that cross field.
Yeah, I mean, timing's everything here. So for the fact that Faze made the call that they did, the moment that they were able to start rotating and decided to push towards Overshield and that they were going to flank the scoreboard, I mean, that was probably the exact moment where Complexity was back green and they say, hey, let's get in house. We're in a very exposed location. So the fact that both these 2 shots were called, it was Faze being the aggressor. It was Complexity trying to rotate out of a troubled situation, maybe on their back heels a little bit. And so often in Halo do we see the aggressor is usually benefited from the situation. The aggressor comes out on top, and who's more aggressive than Renegade? Not many, as he closed the door on this series and this tournament. A phenomenal play, and then honestly, hats off to both teams. Complexity played lights out. Kuhlect showing the world that, hey, Sentinels may have let me go, but I'm still the same talent everyone thinks I am, knows I am, and I can't wait to see him do it on the main stage.
I mean, Complexity went through a gauntlet, right? Like, they had to play against Optic Gaming. They played against G1. They played against now they played against Faze. Some of the they had to go through a gauntlet to get to this position here, and now to take Faze to 7 games. Although it doesn't go their way, we're talking about one slay of a difference and Complexity resets the bracket, and who knows what happens from there. But honestly, an 11 seed making it to the grand finals, an 11 seed in one of the most important tournaments for their year, to get them within that top 10 so that they can qualify for DreamHack Dallas in the next month. This is a very important tournament for Complexity, and the new blood of Monstcr and Kuhlect stepped up big, and Kuhlect in particular. I really want to highlight that young man, and I said already that he was going to be the first all-star that we were going to see that was born in Halo Infinite, right? Where he wasn't from any other game, right? Came in, Halo Infinite's his first Halo, and I think he's really established that today, that he is one of those special players that you see in the HCS.
Couldn't agree more. Can't wait to see more from the kid. Him getting more experience is everything he needs, and I think this Complexity roster, with how hungry these guys come in, how willing they are to work hard, put their head down, and prove themselves to the world, can only benefit each other as they go on that journey together. So as they've qualified now for DreamHack Dallas, I'm excited for them to put on a show there, to allow them the opportunity to replicate some of the stuff they've been able to do here this weekend, and show the world that they really are a team to be feared. And for Faze Clan, I mean, champions in this one, and this is going to be part of the storyline going into DreamHack as well, is how good is this Faze Clan going to be as they start to improve over time. More practice, more preparation, more cohesiveness between this group of individuals, adding Renegade to the team. What feels like probably months ago is still probably pretty recent, especially compared to the chemistry that they've had with Lethal and the years of experience they've had with those four. So any new player is always going to probably feel new for the first probably year. So as Renegade starts to continuously feel comfortable, how much success will this team have? A glimpse of it shown you this weekend as they